On this episode of the Fisherman TV, Mike Caruso travels to western New York State to fish with guide Terry Jones on Lake Erie for trophy smallmouth bass. Then later in the show, Mike hooks up with Chris Bishop of Yo-Zuri Lures and Mark Davis of Big Water Adventures and take a shot at Lake Trout on Lake Ontario. Stay tuned. You're watching the Fisherman TV, brought to you by Yo-Zuri Lures. There we go.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Haven't seen you since last year.
And I'm happy to do it again.
Glad to have you up here in Buffalo with us.
All right, let's go do this.
Let's do that. I have to say that I'm extremely very fortunate to live in one of the areas that have some of the largest smallmouth in the country. People from Japan, China, every place to come fishing because they know this is the premier place to come and catch a trophy smallmouth. Now we're talking. What we have now is we're in the trophy smallmouth bass season. And what this is it starts the first Saturday in May, and you can keep one fish per day, 20 inches or larger. Oh, nice hook set, Mike.
There we go. Oh, this guy's got some shoulders.
Nice one. Yes, he does. Coming up.
Oh, he's not bad. He's not bad. Nice. He's got to have.
Let me lip him.
Yeah, okay.
Let me lip him. Nice. Look at that one. Look at that one. Wow.
Yeah.
The one just moved up, man.
Oh, yeah. Look at this
that.
guy.
Wow.
You know what's really neat too is, the thing will be 30 feet out from the boat, get up on top, but be a few feet under the water. This water's so crystal clear. You get to see all the action, which I love. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the thrill of catching a fish like this. But
I guess I have to thank the zebra mussels for clearing this up so much for us. Huh?
well, that's true. They are filters.
Yes, they
You got your
are.
filtering system here in this lake.
One of the greatest things about Lake Erie and this eastern end of it is you have the chance of catching one of the largest smallmouths of your life. We're talking 5, 6, 7 pound smallmouths. There's not too many places in this country that you have a chance to catch a fish that big.
Yeah. Feels good. Boy, they really are scrappy fighters, right? Right from the take. Very light coloration on this one. This one's much lighter. Nice. Come on, buddy.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Here we come, Mike.
Here we
We
go.
are. Lake Erie smallmouth at its finest, Mike.
Yeah, it's a pretty fish.
Fish are up here staging to move up into the shallows. We're right on them now.
I mean, it seems fairly straightforward on the presentation here. I mean, you got to have the right lure. We're matching the goby, with these tubes. But as far as technique, what's going to work?
Throw it out there and let it drag.
Just drag along the bottom.
Do nothing.
Less is more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Later in the year it'll be different, but springtime, early time, throw it out there. You could just leave it in the rod holder if you want to.
Yeah.
No movement, just let it motion across the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I love the bend of that rod, Mike.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's way out there. You are keeping us busy.
You started off with the hot end.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be good, but we're catching them one after another here.
Nice. Here he comes. Got that net ready?
I do.
Turn.
There he is. There he is.
You know what? The way you net, you could work for me any day.
I'd love to be your mate. If I could spend the days on the water like you do, that'd be awesome.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's get him back in. go.
One thing that's very nice about this area is that we have two great bodies of water, which are kind of different in ways. Lake Erie is more a warmer species lake, where the primary fish are walleye, perch, smallmouth bass. Where once you go to Lake Ontario, you have your trout and your salmon, you have your colder species of fish. You know, Mike, I've been guiding here for 20 years on Lake Erie, and you know what I've never seen at this time of the year? That right there.
Oh, I know, it's unbelievable what we're seeing here. I mean, it's mid-May, it's early May.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is what's left of what was a completely frozen lake, but it shouldn't be.
Absolutely not. But this is one of the worst winters that I can imagine for years.
Yeah.
They landed helicopters on the ice this year 6 times, 48 inches of ice. I've never heard of that before. I don't mind ice in my drink, but this time of the year, I don't want to see that ice out there, you know?
Goodbye ice. It's time for a nice clear lake, and you know, it's cold today. I mean, today the water temperature is at just under 40.
Under 40 degrees.
And it depends on what spots you go to, but the air temperature, just running, you know, when you're running at 40 miles an hour in a boat like this, you know, the wind chill's got to be down near zero.
It's freezing.
Air temperature is, what are we at, about 45, 50 today?
Yes. They said it was going to get up in the 50s, but I think that's way in line.
Just seeing this, though, makes it feel a lot colder than it is.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I want to thank you. We had a great day. Lake Erie was good to us today, and I appreciate your services here. You know, tomorrow we're going to give it a shot up on Lake Ontario, which is, what, about a half an hour away.
Yeah, it's close.
And we're going to be trolling for some lake trout and for salmon. Hopefully it's as good as today was.
I hope
Thank you,
so.
buddy.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Come see me again,
It was
please.
a great time. We sure will.
All right.
We're here on the shores of Lake Erie, and what we're going to be talking about is some jerkbaits for smallmouth fishing. The first series we want to talk about is the 3DB series. This actually debuted for 2014. It has 2 international patents. It has a wave motion on the bottom of the bait, and it has this 3D prism finish. We also have a mylar tail. This is a suspending shad style bait that dives 6 to 8 feet. Once the water warms up and the fish move a little shallower, the jerkbait is what we'd recommend. It's a flat-sided, knifing, minnow-style jerkbait. It has the mylar tail and again the 3D prism finish and the wave motion. The other series that we want to talk about, this is actually a sneak peek for the fall of 2014 into the beginning of 2015, is our 3DS series. You have a mid-running 3DS shad, you have a 3DS shad shallow, and then you have the 3DS minnow. These are smaller profile baits for when the fish are a little finicky or they're eating smaller forage. These are the new series that we'd recommend if you're fishing up here on Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, or just at home on your local lake.
All right, we got an exciting day today. Day 2 up here. We're up on Lake Ontario. Yesterday we were hitting the smallmouths on Lake Erie. I'm with a friend I've known here for about 20 years, Mark Davis, and Chris Bishop from Yo-Zuri Lures. Today we're going to troll for lake trout. There's other things to get out there too, but we're going to focus primarily on lake trout today using Yo-Zuri Lures. And you know, let's get started, guys.
I'm just driving the boat, brother. It's your show today.
Well, I know I'm in good hands. Mark's been coming up here for the last 13 plus years. And
Long time.
you know, so he knows this place like the back of his hand. This guy's from South Carolina. I don't think there's too many people who could say that. But let's get this baby started, and I'm looking forward to a great day, guys.
Sounds good.
You're a South Florida boy. You know, the water temperature here, you know, when the wind blows, it's blowing 38-degree water temperature on you. Or when we're going 50 miles an hour in Mark's Blue Wave, you know, I mean, there's a wind chill factor here. How you dealing with it?
I'm doing fine.
Because I tell you what, I'm not doing that well. I'm a northeasterner, and this is not fun.
Yeah, I just, as long as I stay in the boat, I'll be all right. If I hit that water, I might go into a coma. But no, I'm doing fine. Yeah, the wind chill is, you know, it's not bad today. At least the sun's shining. There's no wind, so it's beautiful weather out here. So, I mean, look at it. I think the key for this fishery, though, is to keep the bait on the bottom at all times.
Correct.
So right now we're using a 3-ounce dropper sinker. We're in 51 feet of water. You want to see the rod tip bouncing so you know the bait's still in contact with the bottom. It gets hung up, it'll spring back, but that just means the bait's staying on the bottom. You're not going to get any bites if that sinker's not bouncing along the bottom. Right now we got 2 jointed baits out, and we got 1 square bill. You want a bait with a wider wobble, and you know, we're only going 1.3 to 1.5 knots, so you want something that's going to have some action at that slower speed.
Just a little about the gear. You know, we're working basically with between 9 and 10 foot rods, and you know, the reason we want those lures kind of kicking up the bottom, and there are zebra mussels there, so it's easy to break off. Some parts can be sticky, other parts are real soft mud, but primarily we want to be right off the bottom. Those lake trouts are really basically their bellies are in the dirt. You know, we're just trying to be in front of them and present a bait the right way. I think you're right with the wobble. You know, not too tight a frequency in terms of you know, the action. Something that's got a little bit more of a.
And it's a light tackle fishery too. I mean, we're only fishing 10-pound test. We're fishing 10-pound test leader material. So when you get a strike, you know, the fish could be 20, 25 pounds. So you're definitely, you know, taking your time with it. They don't make long runs, but they dog, and they do have some, you know, pretty heavy head shakes, so if you're not careful you can get broke off, but the lighter baits, lighter line is definitely key to getting bites.
There he is, there he is. Grab the rod, just pick the rod up, just pick the rod up.
Fish on.
There you go.
All
There
right.
you go.
Nice.
Got some nice head shakes too. I'm over the top of that room.
Is he over or under?
Over.
He's coming over this side.
Yep. Coming over to the right.
You're right up in the back, so you're all right right now.
Nice little lake trout bite. Coming up on top. There he is. Nice fish too.
That's stuck.
Is that Nick?
Got one of those.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mike, go back on straight.
Yep.
Walk forward. Yeah.
Slowly pulling through.
Nice and easy. Like that. Yep, nice and easy on that guy.
Yes! There he
Way
is.
to go. Way to go, Chris.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Awesome.
Nice job.
My first ever lake
All
trout
right.
right there.
Lake Ontario, Lake Trout
Woo!
right here.
Take him up on the bottom.
On the jointed sashimi.
He's a fatty too. We haven't been at this spot for 5 minutes and got a bite.
And
so.
it's amazing because the spot we're in is full of debris that seemed to have come down over the falls. That was part of the ice field. You know, so there's debris everywhere. It's a little bit difficult to troll through here, but boy, we managed a nice one.
Absolutely. That's definitely a nice fish. My first ever lake trout. So I gotta say that that's a beautiful fish.
Well, hey, I had a great time, Chris. Thanks for coming up here. I really enjoyed spending the day out here fishing with you. Special thanks to Mark Davis for really putting us on the fish. And let's go back and have some of those famous buffalo chicken wings, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Let's do
Appreciate
it.
it. We're here on the shores of Lake Ontario and we're talking about some bottom bumping and trolling baits for the Great Lakes. The first bait we'll talk about is our sashimi jointed freshwater. This bait actually changes color from front to back. It's a jointed bait with a very strong joint connection. This is our perch pattern, but we also have many colors that replicate a goby. The next bait we'd recommend for your larger lake trout is our 5 1/4 inch crystal minnow. Again, this is the perch pattern. It comes in floating, suspending, and sinking. When we're looking for smaller baits for brown trout, coho, steelhead, the first bait we'd recommend is the Yo-Zuri 3DB minnow. And this is going to have a prism finish. It's going to have the wave motion technology on the bottom of the bait. And then also when they're eating even smaller forage, this is our 3DS minnow. It's going to have a real tight action. It's a great bait for the smaller species of trout. Our last series that we'd recommend is when the walleye move in, is our crystal minnow deep divers. This is our 3.5 inch, this is our 4 3/8 crystal minnow deep diver. It's going to dive 15 to 17 feet. For your larger walleye, this is our crystal 3D minnow jointed series. Has a very strong joint connection, saltwater grade hooks, our patented 3D prism finish, and it dives down 15 to 20 feet. These are the baits that we think you guys will have real good success out here on the Great Lakes trolling.